Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of the pointless things, where we flying by his pointless statue in Booty Bay, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is Slim the Shady Dealer, and Slim is an ethereal general goods vendor located at the Manitombs entrance in the Terracar Forest. And so Slim is his nickname, but obviously paired up with the title of Shady Dealer means he's Slim Shady, which is a reference to Eminem. But when you talk to him, he says, "I'm neither slim nor shady. As a matter of fact, I find both references insulting. Now, get out of my sight before I plant my staff up your backside." Which I thought was kind of funny because I thought he was going to actually reference the song The Real Slim Shady and be like, yes, I'm the real Shady. All the other Slim Shadys are just imitating. Like, I thought he was going to say something like that. And instead, he's just like, I hate being this. But I don't know. I think he's pretty cool, right? It's a fun little nickname. His nickname is Slim. By the way, the nicknames are anything in quotations. So that's kind of how I went about this. Because I actually was going to make this Pointless Top 10 titles. But now that has to be a different video because I realized that the things I was thinking were titles were actually nicknames. So now we have Pointless Top 10 nicknames. And that's why Slim is number 10. 9. Number 9 is Toby Mother Goose Ironbolt, and Toby Mother Goose Ironbolt is a gnomish stable master located at Fizz Crank Airstrip in the Borean Tundra. And so I put him on the list because I just thought the nickname Mother Goose was funny, but I was like, why is he even nicknamed Mother Goose? And so when I was looking into it, there's some comments on Wowhead that said Goose from Top Gun would stick, but Mother Goose? But then somebody else said it is from Top Gun. In the beginning of the movie, when Maverick and Goose go to the bar, Iceman calls him Mother Goose. I've never actually seen Top Gun. People are going to be like, how have you not seen Top Gun? I haven't seen the old one or the new one. However, maybe I should watch it, and then when that part comes up, I'll be like, dude, Mother Goose, just like the gnome stable master. And so yeah, even without the Top Gun reference, I think it's just a funny nickname to have Mother Goose as your nickname, so I had to put him on the list, and so that's why Toby Mother Goose Ironbolt is number 9. 8. Number 8 is Remy Two Times, and Remy Two Times is a human quest giver located in Goldshire in the Elwyn Forest. And the reason he's named Remy Two Times is because he repeats the words at the end of his sentences twice. So you can see here, he says, "Hey there, friend. My name's Remy. I'm from Red Ridge to the east and came here looking for business. Looking for business. You got any? Got any?" Although I was kind of confused because he only says the 2 times things occasionally. Like if you look at the gold dust exchange, he says the kobolds in these parts sometimes carry gold dust on them. But you would think he'd be like gold dust on them, like say it twice. But for some reason, he doesn't say it twice there. And then you might be like, well, he says it at the end of the sentence. But then the next paragraph, he goes and around the Jasper Lode mine to the northeast. And then he doesn't say it twice. Like what? I'm confused by the inconsistency in his 2 times. The reward for the gold dust exchange also used to be a bag of marbles, as in like he lost his marbles. He's crazy, right? But then they replaced that with the gold dust belt. And it appears that this is a reference to Jimmy Two Times from the movie Goodfellas, who also did a very similar thing. So a lot of references, but that's nothing new with Blizzard. They have a ton of references in the game, so I also haven't seen Goodfellas. So I haven't seen Top Gun or Goodfellas. Somebody's freaking out right now, like, oh my god, this guy's crazy. But that's why Remy Two Times is number 8. 7. Number 7 is Dirty Larry, Epic Malone, and Creepjack, all located in Shatrath City. And I always remember these guys because you have to go find the stolen book, and they're like, go find these ruffians that probably stole the book, beat down Dirty Larry and get information. And so you go over here, and it's just Dirty Larry and his crew, and they're just chilling by the fire, and he's like, beat it, kid, I got business to attend to. And so I think this is really the only place in the game where there's 3 people with nicknames all gathered around. So this is probably the highest concentration of nickname characters together in World of Warcraft for, you know, whatever that's worth. But I looked into it because I was like, there's got to be some references here, right? And so Creepjack is actually a term used by players of Warcraft 3 when one player was engaged with another player who was already fighting NPC creeps. You would attack them and it would be a creepjack. So it was almost like a gank in a way. And then Epic Malone is wearing a purple shirt, and epics are purple, so he's essentially just got like an epic shirt, right? And then Dirty Larry, there's not like any definitive reference, so he might just be a random character they actually created without a reference, which is probably more surprising than anything. But yeah, I always remember doing this quest in the Burning Crusade, and so I had to put these guys on the list because they are pretty cool nicknames, and that's why Dirty Larry, Epic Malone, and Creepjack our number 7. 6. Number 6 is Plucky Johnson, and Plucky Johnson is a human who's been turned into a chicken found at the Mirage Raceway in the Thousand Needles. And so Plucky is actually Magus Tirth's polymorphed apprentice, and he wanted to avoid Tirth, and so he's turned himself into a chicken to hide from him. But if you do slash chicken on him, he will temporarily go back to human form and wave at you. But then in Cataclysm, Magus Tirth, who I believe is a reference to Minas Tirith, which wouldn't surprise me because, you know, Blizzard and references, he goes mad and he blames Plucky Johnson for the Cataclysm. And so Plucky's like, you gotta save me here. He's gone mad. Mad, I tell you. His inability to stop the flooding of Thousand Needles has caused him to go completely bonkers. He blames me for everything, including the Cataclysm. He probably thinks I'm Deathwing in disguise or something. Help! And then funnily enough, you can just be like, I hear that you sell Ancona chickens. And he's like, oh yeah, here's some. It's just so random and like out of left field when it's like, this guy's trying to kill me. And you're like, yeah, but do you sell chickens? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, I got chickens. And so whether you meet Plucky Johnson in Classic WoW or Retail WoW, it's kind of a wacky situation, and that's why Plucky Johnson is number 6. 5. Number 5 are Seawolf McKinley and Shaky Felipe, located in Booty Bay in the Cape of Stranglethorn. And so Seawolf McKinley is just this guy that's like, people gotta pay their debts. I don't care if they're undead or whatever. Like, I'm gonna get my money. And so there's quite a few people that he has you go and collect debt from, but Shaky Felipe is the first one that you have to go collect debt from, and it's the one where you have to obtain the 5 Mistveil giblets. So if you remember in Classic WoW getting those giblets, you probably remember Seawolf McKinley and Shaky Felipe. And so Seawolf McKinley's like, go out of town and hunt Elder Mistveil gorillas, find a nice selection of giblets, then take them to Shaky. Don't let on that they're from animals, let him think the worst. And so Shaky's like, I don't like the look you're giving me, but then he's like, hey, where'd you get these? No, don't tell me, I don't want to know. Who sent you, Seawolf? Here, take this pouch and give it to Seawolf and tell him I meant to pay him back. I swear, I just got a little drunk and lost my way, and you know how things are. He'll understand. You don't have to get rough. And then Seawolf's like, haha, well done. And when you showed Shaky those giblets, how hard did he shake? Haha, he's so easy to read. Also, is it giblets or giblets? 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 Is this one of those like GIF things? Either way, this is one of the most notorious quest lines in Booty Bay, so I had to put these guys on the list, and that's why Seawolf McKinley and Shaky Felipe are number 5. 4. Number 4 is Jack Alltrades Darrington, and Jack Alltrades Darrington is a Worgen profession trainer found in various places throughout Gilneas. And obviously this is a play on words because it's like Jack of all trades, because he has the ability to teach you all of the different professions, so he kind of knows all of the trades. However, he does have some outdated information on some professions, like he says, skilled herbalists can also use their knowledge of the earth to heal themselves, and skilled miners also become tough and gain increased stamina. That being said, he is still pretty cool, right? Like, he still knows all of the professions. How many people in World of Warcraft can say that they know all of the professions on one character? Like, he has to be one of the only characters in the entire game that has knowledge of every single profession. And you know, he's lagging behind with the times a little bit, but you know what? So do real teachers in real life. There's plenty of teachers, when I took marketing classes, they'd be like, how do you market on the internet? I know how to market in the 70s, right? So I mean, hey, you know what? He's kind of realistic, and I think that's pretty cool. So that's why Jack Alltrades Darrington is number 4. 3. Number 3 is Jim Candles McHannigan. That's actually a lot harder to say than you would think. I also don't know if his name is just Jim, but with a B, or if it's supposed to be Jimb. But either way, he's got a quest called I Take Candle, and that tells you all you need to know about his nickname. And he says, back before those damn kobolds gave me a permanent limp, I used to be William Pestil's #1 candle supplier. Hell, I even came up with the line, I take candle. Yeah, that was me. Kobold would say, you know, take candle. And I just respond, I take candle, and then bash their brains in. Jim drifts off for a second. Good times. The best times. Now, can't even use the bathroom without assistance. You want to help me? Kill some kobolds. You'll find a good load of them in the nearby mine. There's also an issue of the Moonbrook Times that you find on the ground that talks about how he was an eyewitness to seeing people get murdered, which I think were his friends, but I have no idea. Either way, Jim has had a very difficult life, but you know what? He's still going. And so props to him. And that's why he's number 3. 2. Number 2 is Sloppy Joe Joe, and Sloppy Joe Joe is a human captive found in the northern part of Shipwreck Cove in High Mountain. And so Sloppy Joe has been captured by Murlocs, and you rescue him and free him, and he goes, bless you, I owe you my life and a good meal. We better get out of here before their leader comes, or we'll end up like And then the Murloc spawns and he's like, and then Sloppy Jojo is like, no, save yourself. And he starts running away and then he despawns and then you get attacked by Merkler is his name. But yeah, I think everybody can figure out why I picked this guy. His name is literally Sloppy Joe. His nickname is Sloppy Joe. So he's Sloppy Jojo. And it's just really goofy and dumb and I love it. Like, I don't know how he got that nickname. I don't know why they're just like, you know, we should call Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Call him Sloppy Jojo. Like, I have no idea, but I think it's great. And so that's why Sloppy Jojo is number 2. And number 1 is Grilla the Grunt Crankchain. And Grilla the Grunt Crankchain is a goblin found patrolling the Orgrimmar embassy in Orgrimmar. And what makes her so great is her nickname is the Grunt, referencing the Orgrimmar grunts that are the actual guards of Orgrimmar. But she's wearing the same attire that they're wearing and also patrolling around, so it's like she is a grunt. In fact, she is doing the job of a grunt. If you talk to her, she's like, what are you looking for? And she can show you where a whole bunch of stuff in Orgrimmar is. So if anything, she's just another Orgrimmar guard. Apparently, she was added during Wrath of the Lich King, and she may have been intended to foreshadow the arrival of the goblins in Orgrimmar. And so I like to think that she came here, she became a guard, and then all the grunts were like, hey, she's the grunt. And then they just started calling her the grunt, so she became Grilla the Grunt Crankchain. Like, that's what I would assume happened, but I have no idea. I just think it's great when they do fun little things like this. So that's why Grilla the Grunt Crankchain is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want more top 10s, you can check out Overlooked Wall Art from the other week. That was a fun one. Or you can check out Pointless Top 10 names in World of Warcraft. That kind of ties into this one. Also, consider supporting the channel over on patreon.com/crendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.